The safety is off. There's a round in the chamber. This is Armed Alabama. Sponsored by McCoy Outdoor Company, Mobile's hometown full-line outdoor sporting products and gear store. An interactive talk show discussing self-defense, product reviews, shooting tips, safety, and more. Your calls, comments, and texts welcome at 343-0106. Now, here are your hosts, retired judge and certified NRA instructor Rusty Johnston and certified NRA law enforcement instructor Adam Strange.
They're gonna pry these guns right out of my hands when they come to take them away. I believe in the rights that my fathers gave me when they signed the Constitution that day. No misguided president or crooked politician with a greasy pocket be spared. When the hard-working man gets tired of your cry, it's gonna rain wrath, beware. Don't tread on me, I'm American free. You're not gonna take it away. I stand up and fight for my freedoms and rights. That's a price you'll have to pay. Don't tread on me, I'm American free. Red-blooded to the core. You ain't ever had a fight in your life like the fight that you're itching
for. All right, welcome to Armed Alabama. Glad you could join us tonight. We've got a good show for you ahead. It's your opportunity to call in and talk about whatever gun-related item you want to talk about, or politics, or what have you. Tonight is open night.
Open phone night.
Yeah.
Open line.
What you said.
So that means we want to hear from you about whatever you think is a worthy topic.
Yeah, so give us a call here at the studio, 251-343-0106. You can call or text to that same number, 251-343-0106. And also, we are simulcasting on Facebook page, and that Facebook page is Armed Alabama Radio, FM Talk 1065. And please like and save and follow when you're there, and that way you'll be notified every time that we make a post, which is quite a bit. We've got a lot of followers too on our Facebook page. We are approaching I think it's like 5,000, so I have to check and see where we're at. But I just noticed the other day that we were getting quite high on our Facebook page there. Also, we have a YouTube channel. It's just simply Armed Alabama. And we have a website, and it's armedalabama.com, and we post a lot of stuff on our website as well, different content, and also different videos on our Armed Alabama page. You can also listen to our previous shows from our website, and you can listen to our shows here on FM Talk 1065 website. They have an area on their website with all the podcasts, and you can go there and you can listen to Armed Alabama ad-free. That's correct?
That's
right?
correct. And also, a few months ago, I just took a few candid photographs of you and Judge Johnston, who, by the way, is not with us tonight. So when people go to the podcast at fmtalk1065.com, they'll see your picture.
Lovely.
And it was one of those nights that neither one of y'all had your makeup on. So just be ready is all I can say. But we do want to try something different tonight, Adam, and that is because every Wednesday night there's basically one or two or three main topics that you and the judge talk about. And this time we kind of want to turn the tables and invite our listeners to bring up their topics.
Yeah, we've already got a text in. It's from Daniel. Daniel says he works at a local mill, and he says, can they restrict me from carrying concealed, i.e. they have a no weapons policy? Yeah, a lot of times with the businesses, they have a gate, they have armed security, or armed guards. Yes, they can do that. Of course, you can have your firearm in your car within the parking lot.
The other thing there is whether they can legally prohibit you from carrying concealed or not. But then you got to say, well, the other side of that coin is my job going to be on the line if I violate the policy.
Yeah.
So that's something that, that you have to consider too.
Yeah, but usually, like I say, when those type of industry, they have their own armed security guards, and they have gates and checkpoints, so they are within the law.
Magnetometers.
The code of Alabama, not necessarily magnetometers, but they have armed security and gates that you have to go through, and so they meet that criteria.
I want to give the phone number again too. Area code 251. If you're outside of the greater Mobile area, 343-0106. And we've got a line set up for our first-time callers. If you've never called the show before, do it now. Get in now so we can get you on the air so you can share your comments. Maybe you have a question for Adam regarding guns, ammunition, safety, self-defense,
all the above.
hardening your home, or some of the topics that you and the judge take up when you conduct the classes.
Yeah, we already actually have a couple of calls here. We'll go to John's calling from Daphne. Hi, John. Welcome to Armed Alabama.
Well, good evening, gentlemen. How are y'all doing on this chilly night?
Doing good.
Doing well.
Well, I'll hop right into it. I hope y'all brought your history hats with you, but I had a question for you. Long story short is, would you consider, all this talk of gun regulation to be a new and what you might call a modern topic? And specifically what I was wanting to know is, can either one of y'all think of any incidents after Lincoln was shot of the public trying to bring up gun regulation? And that's just kind of my whole thing. Hang up and listen, gentlemen.
Okay, but I wanted to ask you, John, the public bringing up legislation, I don't quite understand what you're asking there.
Well, every time you hear about some sort of shooting, or there's always a public outcry for some sort of gun regulation. And at least that seems to be what I see.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of curious, is that something that has been going on, just in modern history, or are y'all familiar with instances of it going back, even as far back as Lincoln or even before?
Yeah, I don't remember a whole lot of gun restriction conversations from the Civil War era. And I think you may be bringing a point. I think it's much more amplified now, and we're going to see it when the Democrats take over the House. They've already promised a whole slew of new regulations.
Well, I guess the next follow-up would be, even after, the Chicago typewriter and the St. Valentine's Day massacre, even at that point in time, was there, or is it even more modern than that? I'm just wondering, what is the oldest example of this outcry that y'all could think of?
So, John, that's a good question, and let me go ahead and give you an answer to that. I can't provide any specifics. I've read different things on this over the years regarding history. So there's been several times that we as citizens of the United States have come close to losing that right to bear arms, and it has played, in fact, as in the 20s, when you had so much crime that took place, and machine guns were available for people to purchase, or stolen and used in crime.
That's when they outlawed alcohol.
From the Sears catalog, probably like $100 to be shipped to your door. But that being said,
I wonder when background checks started.
Well, we think $100 is not that much today, but $100 back then was a lot.
Sure. That's
a lot of money. Yeah, I don't know if you could order it and have it shipped to your door from the Sears and Roebuck catalog, but you could get those kind of firearms. And there were lots of conversations at that time. And oddly enough, the NRA, who's is probably one of the most widely known organizations that promotes or advocates firearms possession by regular Americans, was involved in some of that legislation back then, and were not so much as a vocal as they are now.
Okay, so I mean, about the 20s would be about as far back as you think.
I actually couldn't answer your question specifically or how far back. The judge is not here, but he probably could. He'd probably chomp into bed right now about what specific example
It seems in my memory, Reagan is about as far back as I could go for examples like that. That's when the outcry really hit the news cycle, I guess.
Yeah, no, actually, it very close within the 20s, when a lot of crime was taking place.
And that probably would be at least when the restrictions on fully automatic machine guns.
Well, there was some legislation that was passed, but there was a lot being considered about, okay, in a modern era, does the citizens of the United States need to be armed?
And John,
thank God for our Constitution, because ultimately that's what weighed out.
And John, we have to go to break, but let's throw it out to our listeners. Maybe they've got some other examples to share. Thank you for your call.
Gentlemen. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
You too.
All right, thank you,
Mike
John.
in Grand Bay, hang on. We're coming to you next.
All right, welcome back to Armed Alabama. We still got plenty of show for you left. Please give us a call here at 251-343-0106. You can call or text to that same number. Also, we are simulcasting on our Facebook page, and that's Armed Alabama Radio, FM Talk 106.5. And definitely when you're there at our Facebook page, please like, save, and follow, and that way you'll be notified anytime we post something in the future. Definitely want to thank our advertisers. Without our advertisers, we wouldn't have a show. And those are Dr. Justin Foster, Foster's Chiropractic in Tillman's Corner, McCoy Outdoors, of course, Ace Hardware Stores, Spring Hill, Crayola, and Moffett locations, Law Office of Matt Green, Hansen's Heating Air, Mike Ward's Liberty Safes, the Steve Moore Law Firm, and Hunter Security. If you would like to advertise your business here on Armed Alabama, we would love to talk to you. You can email me, Adam@armedalabama.com, or email the judge at armedalabama.com.
And Adam, if I could add something to that, and I've been around talk radio for a long time, and this show has
We can tell.
very impressive line of advertisers, of sponsors. If you appreciate this show, let these advertisers know that and go by and shop there.
Absolutely. When you're there, make sure that you heard about them from Armed Alabama.
And I will, Adam, I'll also add, I know you and the judge, y'all don't just let anybody get on this show. These are people that you all are supportive of as well.
I don't know. They let me on here. So.
Well, yeah, but you're, are you buying spots on here? You running for anything yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. I just thought I'd clear that up. We are doing something different tonight. This edition of Armed Alabama is your show. And instead of generating the topics on this end, we want to hear from you about anything gun related, Second Amendment related, that is either bothering you or you think is interesting, or you have a point of view that you want to share. This 50,000 watt radio station is yours for a couple of minutes, and all you got to do is pick up your phone, talk to us on the phone when you get through, 343-0106.
Oh, we have.
And we've got some folks hanging on. Do you have a texter there too?
Yeah, we have Mike is calling from Grand Bay, Alabama.
All right. Good evening, Mike. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. Day before yesterday, I was in the hospital thinking I had a heart attack going on, so they said it wasn't. So hopefully, I'm not feeling great, but hey, at least I'm here and I'm hanging on.
Well, the good
prayers are answered, aren't they?
A fun little fact. It's really neat. Years ago, back in the 40s, my granddaddy bought a brand new. You could only do this back in those days. He bought a brand new Ranger pump shotgun, and the receiver is like that squared off receiver. It looks like a Browning automatic shotgun receiver. But anyway, he bought it for $25, I think he said back then. Now, that's an interesting fact.
How long ago?
Back in it was late 30s or early 40s.
Oh, yeah, $25 in the 30s was
20,
a lot of money.
Maybe 25 to 27 bucks, I think he said. It was less than 30 bucks.
Wow.
But that's crazy because that's a really nice gun. My cousin's got it now. But anyway, the reason I called, and I missed last week, I don't know how I missed it, but I didn't think about it. But anyway, I wanted to tell you that me and my dad like to tinker around. And so I was tinkering around the other day, and I finally come up with the perfect Democratic gun that the Democrats would approve of. And I looked down, and well, it
This
didn't
is going
have
to
a
be
barrel
fun.
on it.
Do what?
I said I looked down, and it didn't have a barrel on it when I got finished. It didn't have a trigger on it. It didn't have a receiver. And I got to looking at it real good. Well, I'll be darned. All I had was a little old piece of wood in my hand. But guess what? I had to change it because it looked like a stock on a rifle.
Look like one of those.
Get off.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you calling in.
All righty, man.
Let's go to Scott. He's calling in from Fairhope.
Hello, Scott.
Hey guys, how are y'all doing tonight?
Doing
All right,
great.
doing well.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, this is my second time calling in. I was just wondering, what is your opinion on what you think the House is going to throw at us now that they've taken control? And, you know, what are the chances of, I always worry about the Democrats and what they're going to try to do to our Second Amendment, but, I mean, do you think anything legitimate will ever happen? And then what do you think we're going to see from them? And I'll hang up and I'll listen off there.
Okay, Scott, thank you for your call. So that's a wide open topic, but this is kind of what I think. So this is just me, Adam Strange, saying, okay, this is my opinion. But my opinion is that there might be a little bit of cacklings of investigation. I don't think the Democrats are going to try to make big in 2020. I don't think you're going to see any type of crazy legislation in regards to repealing a firearm ban or instituting a firearm ban or anything in that regard. They're going to be focused on 2020. I think they're going to be focused on Trump to see how they can get their nails in on him to find that crack in his armor, because really Trump has proved to be Teflon Don. Nothing they have said or done has really stuck to him to put anything around his neck. I think if it had been any other Republican in office, that he'd have been done and through. But Trump has shown himself to be Teflon Don in that regard. So I don't really look for them to push any type of legislation as far as gun control or anything in that regard. They're going to be looking at 2020.
I have my opinion on it. Is right in line with yours, but I also feel, and this is not going to ever happen, but anybody in public office that promotes banning guns, we ought to all get together and ship them some signs they can put on their house saying that the owner of this house is unarmed, and encourage them to post them all over their property.
Yeah, well, they're not going to use terms like, banning guns or whatever. What they'll use is they'll say common sense gun legislation. Mm-hmm. And that's a farce in their minds. But Nancy Pelosi and other persons of her type, they're going to have their own battle. And their own battle is going to be within their party, within that left, which used to be a left fringe, is now congressmen, men and women who are socialists,
avowed socialists,
and they ran as socialists. And so you're going to see Pelosi and others come under attack from people like Cortez, who's already got protesters at Pelosi's office right now. So I don't know how much time and effort they're going to be able to put in on Trump when they're fighting these leftists back within their own party, because if the people of the United States really see who these people are, they won't be electable in 2020. And so that's going to be their battle.
And for a bit of an explanation for young people who have not studied much history, we don't want to be saying welcome to the USSA.
Yeah.
Got to think about that for a minute.
Well, and a lot of people's mind who are not as maybe even as old as I am, really don't understand what socialism is. And
whenever it's been tried, it doesn't work.
Well, these younger people, they don't know that. They don't understand that. They didn't grow up in the Cold War, And to them, socialism means free stuff. It means free college, free education,
and everybody makes the same amount of money.
You know, a free place to stay or what have you. So, all right, moving right along. So let's go to our next caller.
One of our favorites.
Hey, LD.
Well,
go ahead, LD.
This is since to say what you want. This I want to say, people, you're not going to carry a gun. For God's sake,
oh no, your cell is cutting up on you.
Neighborhood.
Say it again, LD. Your cell is breaking up.
How about now?
That's
yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right. I've had 4 people's homes broken into in my neighborhood in the last couple of weeks, and they all put out on the neighborhood app. Did anybody see anything with their cameras? Buy your own cameras. Stop being a cheapskate.
Well, and you know, I kind of like these ads, like Ring and different places, and they're showing the mom and the kids, and they're all safe in their home from intruders because they've got a camera mounted on the front of the house. Camera's not going to save you.
It may help convict the perpetrator after they've done their dastardly deed.
That's right, and it's not going to prevent a break-in. You know, so don't be swept up with the idea that, well, hey, all I got to do is put a burglar alarm in here and turn on a camera, and nobody's going to bother us, because that's
no. You
not
need to
true.
have items to defend yourself. Whether it's if you don't like a firearm, that's your choice. That's your decision. There's other ways to defend yourself. You can get pepper spray. There's pepper spray guns that you can buy on Amazon. I think they're, and you can buy them at McCoy Outdoors. They've got some really good pepper spray guns there, and be able to defend yourself with that. Or you can use pepper spray as a continuous force. And when you don't want to pull your firearm, or if there's just some drunk fool or whatever that may be aggravating you, you don't need to shoot them, but you can pepper spray them and sure get them off of you.
That's right. And for those of you just tuning in, this edition of Armed Alabama is your show tonight. We've opened the phone lines. We've got lines for first-time callers, too. We want to hear what topics interest you or your opinions on gun-related, Second Amendment-related issues. 251-343-0106. Almost forgot the phone number. Give us a call.